Hi guys, welcome back to Anadialogue, the dialogue on analog music reproduction. In this episode, we are going to take a look to the best sounding records. 10 records that I deeply and greatly love. Not only for the amazing sonics, but also for the amazing music, okay? These two aspects perfectly collide in these records. These are my test records. I use these to test equipment, okay? I did the same for CDs. If you haven't seen the episode, here is a link. You're also going to find the links in the video description. As you always know, I'm going to try to let you hear a piece of each needle drop of each record. If it's not there, it means YouTube blocked my video, so I had to cut it out. So you're just going to see the picture, okay? Hey, ready? Let's start now. Okay guys, are you ready to discover my test records? I'm surprised I haven't done this until now, after 6 years of this channel. Okay, so I'm gonna start with one of my top favorite of all time records. Once again, sonics and artists, music, combined, top notch. What am I talking about? I've Got the Music in Me by Thelma Houston and Pressure Cooker. Oh yes, mama. This is a Sheffield Lab. If you don't know Sheffield Lab, pause the video and start buying something. The genius of Doug Sax, which unfortunately is not anymore with us, created incredible, and not only him, clearly, incredible music, incredible albums. Mainly, I would say jazz, classical. Every once in a while, there was something a little more, I would say, pop-oriented, even though this is funk, jazz, soul, a mix. And the sonics is just incredible. This is a direct-to-disc. This is a first edition. That means that they had to record with only one take directly to the lathe to do the master. Obviously, they made also a digital version, so you can find also the CDs and things like that. They recorded to the analog tapes, and you can find also digital versions. But here resides the true idea, the true concept, and the amazing sonics. Okay, as I said, just one little track, fast. Trust me on these. Go and explore. Go and listen. You're not gonna, because I'm just putting the first track, so it's not a good idea actually of what's taking place. Plus, the signal is sent directly to the preamp of my camera, so it's not going to be amazing, but at least you're going to have an idea. It's not going to be a environment capture. Okie dokie. 1975 album. Let's go.
Ain't got no troubles in my life. No foolish dreams to make me cry. I'm never frightened or worried. I know I'll always get by. I heat up, I cool down. When something gets in my way, I go around it. Don't let life get me down. Gonna take it the way that I found it, y'all. I got the music in me. I got the music in me. I got the music in me, yeah. I got the music in me. I got the music in me. I got the music in me. They say that life is a circle.
Once again, don't stop there, okay, guys? I mean, it's just incredible. The pure essence of the 70s, I would say. It's so incredible. Okay, let's proceed. We have 10 records. We have to proceed. Okay, our second record is a classical music record. And it's part of the Professor Johnson's incredible recordings he is doing for Reference Recordings. Now this is a 1996 album, which is the Exotic Dances from the Opera. You're going to find this in different with media, in different versions. I mean, it's very, very famous, but I do think I wanted to put something of classical music, and this is so dynamic, so tasty and exquisite that I had to put it. Okay, let's listen just a brief little piece. Professor Johnson also does incredible HD CD if you have recordings, if you have that type of technology. I did a video also on this, on HD CD. Here's a link. Okay, one little track. Okay, I think you got an idea. Half correctly done, half-speed mastering, I would say. Finally. Okay, let's proceed. Now we have one of my favorite albums of all time. We could see the emblematic record of jazz and funk mixed together. Headhunters by Herbie Hancock. And this is the Analog Productions 33 RPM version. Wow. I did present this when I did a confrontation with a Japanese release. Here is a link if you're interested. Okay, so, well, I'm sure most of you know this recording. Maybe it's not perfect, but I do like the sound and punch of the first track, which is just incredible. I mean, it's so funky, so enjoyable, and so precise. I love that. Continues on adding more instruments. If you don't know the record, stop the video once again and go and grab a copy or listen to its digital version online. This was a 1972, I think, 73 recording. Okay, we're going fast. I don't want to get boring. Now we're going to take a look at another incredible album, but part of an incredible label. What am I talking about? I'm talking about the incredible recordings done by Sugano for Audiolab record. Oh yes, baby. Now this is one of the most important, the most interesting, the most amazingly sonically speaking recordings by them. Japanese house, the pinnacle of Japanese recording, I would say, especially done during the 70s. I did a whole video on Audiolab record. Here is a link if you haven't seen it. Okay, let's quickly listen just to one. There's also a DSD version, which, wow, should be even more dynamic than this. And this is just a reference for the drums, especially. But not only. There's a dialogue, in fact, it's called, because there is a dialogue between other instruments. The dialogue between other instruments. And each track, there's a dialogue between the drums and other instruments. Fantastic. Okay, let's try. Okihiko Sugano. Dialogue with bass. Got an idea. I mean, the choice of the microphones, of the lathe, of the modified analog recorder, the instruments, the environment. I mean, it's all top notch, perfectly done, as you have seen. I think you have seen from this little aspect here. It's just incredible. I mean, the quality of these recordings, it's always shocking. Okay, let's proceed now with something a little more pop rock, we could say. This is very famous. I had to put it. I love it. I love the album. I love the cover. I love the artist. I love, obviously, the music. What am I talking about? Donald Fagen with The Night Fly. Oh, yes. No need of presentation, probably. And there are probably better recordings out there by Steely Dan and himself. But as I said, it's not only sonics. I mean, it has to be also something, as you know, engaging. This is a first edition in Italy, if I don't go wrong, 1982. And let's start. No, actually it's German pressing. I just got it in Italy. Digital recording. Okay. Once again, explore, explore, explore. Don't stop to the first track. Now we're going to present something a little less known, but sonically amazing. Actually, it's not the real pressing, it's a MoFi pressing when they were doing things in the correct way. And this is a very special recording. I mean, the quality of the music is just astonishing, I think. Maybe the music itself, it's not gonna be thrilling for a lot of people, but I think it's worthwhile a listening. What am I talking about? Earl Klugh finger paintings. Oh yes. And this is a reference recording for a lot of people, and the Mofi edition, I think, is quite good. I like it a lot. Okay, let's try to listen to something, just a brief little snitch. The genius behind here is Larry Rosen and Dave Grusin, which are going to go out, and I'm trying to find the first side. They're going to go out and do their incredible own label, the GRP, Grusin Rosen Productions. Okay, This should be it. Sorry if you're hearing a little bit of hum, because unfortunately with all these lamps and things connected, the phono preamp suffers a little bit. Listen also to the other tracks. It changes a lot. It's not just like this. Okay, let's proceed. Okay, so now one of my all-time favorite. Rock, progressive rock. What am I talking about? Fragile by Yes. Maybe it's not completely audiophile, but the track Roundabout is always on my turntable when I have to test stuff. And the whole album is just something incredible. I think one of the best albums, rock albums of history, of rock history, absolutely. We're going to listen to a first pressing, UK, and the track Roundabout. And I would say a few seconds of this worthwhile. Ready? Let's go. Okay, let's proceed. Okay, now for our next choice, we have a very strange album from a jazz bossa nova player, which instead, in this case, thanks to Eumir Deodato, he completely dives in a funky jazz fusion type of album, which I find incredible. Extremely rare to find, I'm sorry to say. It took years to find the first pressing, Jacaranda by Bonfa, Luis Bonfa. I presented a video all based on bossa nova, where he is Luis Bonfa, one of my favorite artists of all time of Brazilian music. Here is a link. And it's just incredible. Maybe not all instruments are perfectly recorded, but the sound is truly astonishing. And overall, I mean, the music is just incredible, I think. Okay, very rapidly, just a little piece. 1973 recording. And now let's pass to something a little more. These recordings, these records are special, very special for me. So please handle with care, love. I'm sharing these with you just because, I mean, I had to sooner or later, but it's something very intimate for me to share these things with you. I must admit that. Okay. Finally, something a little more recent, Mark Avenue. I love Mark Avenue, great digital recordings on vinyl. And here we have the double album by Cécile McLaurin-Salvant, Dreams and Daggers, which has astonishing sonics and great artists, great music. Let's see if I can put something a little more emblematic.
I know what this is, and yes, I know where it goes, and yet the feeling just grows, and so I go where it goes, but slow.
Okay, I didn't find the track I had in mind, but trust me on this one. Not as good as the other ones, I think, but very, very good, especially for a female vocal voice. I love her. Okay, now we have our last album. Once again, one of the top of all time for me. What am I talking about? Histoire de Melody Nelson by Serge Gainsbourg. Oh, yes. This is something special for me. I really fell in love with this when I discovered it. It's very peculiar. It's French music, but extremely funky, with a different approach, a completely different approach. I don't want to spend too many words. I also did a small review of a box set of Serge, and I discussed a little bit about him, the Poète Mardi. Here is a link. If I finish the links, you're going to find them all in the video description, because we only have 5 on YouTube. And let's just listen a piece.
Les ailes de la Rolls effleuraient des pylônes. Quand, m'étant malgré moi égaré, nous arrivâmes, Rolls et moi, dans une zone dangereuse, un endroit isolé.
Just one little other piece I have to, because then it builds up clearly. So don't stop listening, as I always say.
Au 56, 7, 8, peu importe. De la rue X, si vous frappez,
Okay, guys, there's also wilder tracks. Please do explore. I mean, this is one of my top 5, I think. Okay, guys, we reached the end. I hope you enjoyed all this overview of my favorite records, or at least a batch. I have many others, and we're probably going to do further videos. But this was my first selection, which I deeply and truly love. I hope you did as well. Please leave your comments indicating your test discs. I'm very, very interested, as you know, and I'm also going to go out and purchase them, obviously, as I did with the CDs. Thank you again for watching, and remember, music is born analog. Ciao! Well guys, if you're enjoying my videos and you're enjoying my channel, please consider to subscribe by clicking the black and white logo here below. Also, don't forget to click the notification bell so you'll never miss an episode and you will become a true member of the analog community.